I thought I would just take a minute and go through a process in case you're in Lightburn and you're doing something and you need to node edit. I've noticed a few people struggle with node editing sometimes. And so since I'm in the middle of this project and I'm doing various filmings of it, I am making a Mancala board. It's a game board. If you're familiar with it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, go look it up. Anyway, I've made several of these. I actually made a video once before on the process, and I'm going to actually make a video on this process. It's been several years. But I'm in Lightburn right now, and I shared this with the volunteer organization that I am making this for. And one of the guys called me out, and he said, well, since when, so this is supposed to be an African savanna scene. And he says, so when do they have barrel cactus growing in Africa? I said, I know, this is what, I got this from a chat GPT, which is an AI. And as we know, they will lie to you sometimes. And so I went back to chat GPT, and I said, my friend challenged me on whether this cactus really grows there, and ChatGPT came and said, well, no, it doesn't. And I said, well, then why did you give it to me? But they did. So now what I need to do to make this more realistic is take this cactus out and replace it with something. So that's what you're going to be watching me do. By the way, my name is Rob Sandstrom. I like to make videos to help people with their digital tool software, such as Vectric VCarve, Vectric Aspire, Lightburn, Bamboo Slicer, and others. So in this case, we're going to be talking about how I would go about modifying this drawing with something that is more realistic. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove this cactus. And to remove the cactus, I want to take it out of this fill mode. And I do that by going up to the window section, and I change it from filled smooth up here to wireless smooth, and it changes it into a wireframe. Notice that I didn't actually change the mode by which I will be engraving this, but I just changed the way it looks on the screen, and it's easier to work with in this mode. So now I'm going to go to the node mode. So I'm going to click on this vector. I'm going to come over here to node, and notice it says there's a shortcut of Control/Command plus, maybe it's an apostrophe, I can't tell. And I have not been able to find that hotkey to work for me, so I continue to just use the menu. I haven't got the hotkey to work. If one of you guys know how to use the hotkey on a MacBook, let me know. So I'm just going to go use the menu, switching over to the node mode over here. I'm coming back over here, and this should be nodes, but I'm not seeing the nodes. Where are the nodes? So I went to collect the nodes, and it didn't work because these were grouped together. So I needed to get out of the group. And so now that I'm in node mode, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to actually break this node right here. So I'm going to come over here, hover over it, hit the B, hover over it, hit the B key. You see how it turned green? Come over here, hit the B key. You can see how it turned green. And so now when I come over here, get out of node mode, click off it, and come over here, you can see that I thought I broke it, but I didn't because it's continuing over here. I want to break it right in here. So we're going to go back to the node mode again. And let me see why it's not broke when I thought it was. Good. Command Z, come over here, hit B. There we go. Now it broke. Come back over to the top of this one, hit B. And now they're broke, as you can see. Trying to grab this one here. I just accidentally joined it back again. So let me put B in there. B. All right. Sometimes you think you get it and you don't. So now you can see I'm broken there. So I'm going to go out of node mode, and I'm going to come back over here, select that. And now I'm going to hit the delete key to get rid of that. And now you can see that cactus is gone. And I, through my looking at various graphics, found one that I think will work, and we're going to see how well I can fit it in here. And I'm going to go ahead and take this one here, and I'm going to bring this over into Lightburn. So that's what I'm doing next. And as you can see, that came in as a big mama in Lightburn, and I don't want that whole big mama. I just want something that'll fit like over between these two zebras. And so I'm going to make it just a little bigger here. I'm going to move this out of the way for just a second. I'm going to go back and grab this here, go back to node mode. So what happened there, what you saw me do was I was trying to grab the zebra. And so I put a box around it thinking, well, I grabbed it, but I forgot that this is not part of the zebra. And since I'm not grabbing the whole graphic, it won't allow me to get that as part of the zebra. So now I've got all of this. I'm going to go to node mode, and I'm going to then go back over here and grab these nodes, which is everything on this side. I accidentally grabbed these nodes over here, I see. So I'm going to hit Command and click on each one of those. And I'm going to start moving it. Now it's moving the way I want it to, way over to the right, giving myself room without distorting the zebra for that tree and leopard. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit over here above this one here, and I'm going to hit the D key, and then I'm going to hit D here. And that is going to then, in fact, I think I'm going to do that for all of this over here and this over here. Give myself a little more room. I don't want to mess with the zebra really. So I am going to get into the zebra a little bit over here. Hopefully this isn't too much node editing and blowing your mind away, but the power of node editing. Coming over here, I'm going to hit I for insert. So I just insert a node there. Now we're going to see how this all turns out here when I get said and done. There may be a little need for me to make a couple other modifications. And so now what I want to do is I got to get this border all the way across if I want this to work. And for now, just so I can see that there's nothing majorly broke, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to join it right here. A D right there. And now I've taken out that cactus tree completely, and it comes across over here, and everything worked right. I may need to do some joining here. You can see these green spots. So I'm hit edit and close selected paths, auto join selected. So now it should have auto joined the ones that were not working before. So let's take a look real quickly here. Window, filled smooth, and see what that looks like from a zebra standpoint. That looks pretty good. The zebra's tail is not quite like this one. Maybe I'll fix that in a minute, but for now, this is fine. And so the next step is I've got to go back to over here. Now that I know that's filling right, I want to go ahead and see how I can get this tree. I'm going to switch back to select mode, see if I can fit that in there. Move it down just a little bit more. In fact, I may take that zebra out altogether. So I'm going to come back over here. Since this is my graphic and I can do whatever I want with it, I'm going to get out of here. Let me get this back out of the way. I find it easier if I'm not messing with that. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to grab this here. I'm going to go to node mode. In fact, I'm going to grab all of this right here by putting a block around it. I'm going to go back to node mode, and I'm going to delete this whole zebra by hitting the delete key. So obviously I didn't get it all, so I want to come over here, select it, grab here, go to node mode, and now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to hit D for delete. I didn't want to go that far. Command Z, come back. I want to hit these, D. I want to hit D, D, and probably D right here, and we'll go from there. This probably won't make much difference, but I don't want to delete it all yet. Come back over here, grab this. And what you're going to see is I'm using this as a base for right now. So I think that tree is going to fit in there just pretty cool, actually. I like that so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to do a trace on this. And because it's pure black and white, the trace should work pretty good. But I don't want to get confused with this other piece here. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to turn off the blue right now, output and show, so that neither one is working. And I'm going to turn on a new graphic. I'm going to use number 9, let's say. Let me just real quickly draw a line so I can do it. All right. Real quickly draw a line. And I did that just to make sure the number 9 was working, and that's the default of what we're going to work on. So when I do this now, select the tree, and I go to right-click, trace image. When I get the image done, it's going to actually be in that number 9 cut line or tool mark, whatever you want to call that, laser. And so I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking that looks pretty good, and I figured it would with a pure black and white. I'm going to hit OK. And now that I hit OK, I'm going to take it. I'm going to move the graphic out of the way. I really just want to get the picture out of the way, not the graphic. So now I'm going to come over back over here, and I'm going to move this graphic. It's grouped. And move it back over here out of the way a little bit. Then I'm going to turn on the other graphic now, where it was before. And I'm going to drag this one down right into there. And I am going to see what that leopard looks like if I go to engrave it before I join everything else up. Grab it, preview, and I think that looks pretty darn good if you ask me. So I like that. I'm going to hit OK. And now what I want to do is I want to join the two graphics together. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this graphic back on so I can see it. And this graphic. And see how well this Boolean works for me. I want to kind of weld them together. And there we have it. You can see that this whole thing now has become one graphic, and it all switched over to number 9. I'm going to switch this whole thing back to number 1. We'll put this output on. This was the other number 9 right here. I'm going to delete that by selecting and hit the delete key, and you see the cuts and layers changed. And so now let's see how this thing is going to look. If I go over here to preview, I think that looks pretty darn good. So we'll check it out and see what we think on a sample piece. Hit OK. And after we have the sample piece, then we can go try it for real. But before I do that, I want to take all of this and I want to grab that. I want to hit the outside border. So grab this one first, hit the outside border, and let's use the bullseye tool. Whoop, Command Z. Before I do that, I need to make this all a group. That's why I had it grouped before. Group it, and then hit the outside border, and then hit bullseye, and notice it didn't all collapse on itself. So that's what it's going to look like next. And so let's take a look at how that's going to look in the preview mode. And I think that looks pretty good. So we will do a real quick test, and then I'll make a template, and I'll be able to do this for real.
Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do? No, you couldn't stand tall. So why didn't you call?
I want to point out a couple things I did with this setup for laser engraving this Mancala board. After I did the node editing and made sure I had the right graphic, I did the test engraving on another piece of wood. The next thing I did was I set up a template. And so that's what this template is. And that's because I will be making more Mancala boards, and so I want an easy way to set it up. So I set up a template that I can use over and over again with a couple bullseyes and a rectangle, and it makes it easy for me to put this in for future boards, number one. The other thing that I did that may not have been as obvious was that I actually put finish on this board. I put shellac on it prior to me doing the engrave on this thing. And that's intentional from some experience in that if I do that, then the sanding isn't as likely to grind the, I'll call it ash, you know, from the carving. So I can take a brush and mostly brush it off. And then if there's any leftover stuff, because I'll want to do a light sanding, well, if I light sand, it's not going to get driven into the grain. And the other thing is I can just take some water and a shop towel and wipe it off, and that resin will go away. So it makes for a much cleaner carve. Just thought I'd point that out. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. As you can see, this was the practice carve to make sure I had the settings about right and things would work out well, and I liked how this turned out. And this is the final carve that I did on the actual Mancala board. And now I'm going to take some water and a piece of cloth and wipe off some of the resin, and then just do a light, very, very light sanding, and then I'll top it off with some more shellac. And because of the shellac, you can see the burn off cleans up pretty easily and quickly. Just using some water. Here I got some 800 grit sandpaper, and so I'm just going to give it a light brush over. And then I can go ahead and blow it off again. Now that I've got it all blown off again, I'll go ahead and put one last coat of shellac over the top.